Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. I am your host, Bob Benham. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I really do mean that. Things are just always entertaining and flowing in this world. Um, if you want to put it in those terms, I mean, that's just about the only way you can put it in this world today. Geez, oh man, everywhere you turn and look, everything just kind of seems strange and weird. But anyway, you just gotta kind of got to go with it and go with the flow and just watch and observe and play along. Um, and when you need to speak out, you need to speak out. And that's the purpose of this podcast, is because this is my chance to speak out about a lot of the BS that's going on right now. And I'm telling you what, there is a lot that's going on that I don't like. Um, it- it's just, un- I don't want to say the word because I don't really want to cuss on this podcast so much, but it's a shit hole out there. You just there's no other way to put it. It's a shithole. Um, the way these people, I mean, nothing's being done. Period. Nothing's being done. Uh, the politicians don't want to fix anything. Nobody wants anything fixed. They just go along as if everything's fine, and it's not fine. Nothing's being done. President Trump has tried to put everything in writing that he wants changed. And what has our wonderful Congress done about it is, as far as codifying any of it? Nothing. Not a thing. They should be sitting there in these sessions and codifying everything. They should be sitting there going, okay, let's put this on paper. Let's put this on paper. Let's put this on paper. Let's make this a law, make this a law, make this a law. And nothing is being done about it. Nothing. Zero. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with them? It's because they got no guts. None. Zero. They need to make these people vote on this stuff. Let them show their butts of how stupid and just gutless they really are about stuff. It's absolutely insane what how gutless these people are that are running this country. They have no loyalty, no honor, no courage, none of that. Zero. They could care less. They do not honor their oaths of office, not one bit. It's just a joke to them. And I am tired of it. I'm tired of it all. These people have lost their minds. They're in it for one thing and one thing only, themselves, and they're in it for the power, their power, and to keep getting reelected for perpetual power for themselves. It's all about them. It's not about us. They don't give a rat's patootie about us. They don't give nothing. They don't care about us one iota. Because if they did, they would be taking what President Trump wants and putting it into law, sending it to his desk so he can sign it into law instead of an executive order. It, it's absolutely insane and crazy. I mean, absolutely just. I mean, these people are, their IQs must be like 20. Unreal. Unfreaking real. It makes me so angry what these people are doing because they're just doing nothing. They talk a good game. Oh yeah, they're really good at talking a good. They at talking a good game. They'll tell you anything you want to hear. They ought to be making. I mean, we know how insane the Democrats are now. We know it. I mean, they're supporting terrorism. They're supporting the narco terrorists that President Trump has taken out on these boats. They're saying, "Oh, we can't be doing that. That's not right." What? These people are bringing drugs into the United States, and they're claiming, "Oh, they can't do it with those outboard motors. There's not enough, they can't carry enough fuel to drive." BS. All BS. It's not hard to do. It is not hard to do at all. Sorry, for some reason, my allergies are bad today. But yeah, it's not hard to do at all. And yet we can't have this. Blah, 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 blah. We got to defend the narco terrorists. Okay, go ahead and defend a bunch of criminals that you're going to do nothing for except allow them to continue doing their trade, which is bring drugs into the United States to kill us. Another violation of your oath to protect us. Sounds treasonous to me as a former military member. And yet you're going to stand there and tell our military to break their oaths and listen to you. How dare you? You people should be brought up on charges and shot in a courtyard or hung. That makes me so angry I can't even see straight. All I see is red. Blood red. You know, the Democrats, all they do, they preach violence. They preach all about, I mean, they have no solutions for anything. Nothing. Their solution to everything is more free junk. More free junk. Who's going to pay for it? Oh, that's right. Us conservatives, because we're the ones that work and pay taxes. By the way, which those taxes are unlawful. Read up about that sometime. But anyway, yeah, back to all this garbage about these idiot Democrats and their far leftist progressive garbage. Because they're communists. They've gone that far now. They're flat out communists. And communists, when I was younger, were the enemy of this country. The enemy. That's what the Russians were. That's what the Chinese are. That's what the North Koreans are. The enemy, people. And the Democrats are lined up with the Chinese as being communists, the enemy. Do you not understand that? It's not hard to understand. It's not hard to put this stuff together. We need to be speaking out about this stuff. We need to be putting our voices out there, saying, hey, this is not right. This is against our Constitution. This is not, they're saying, oh, well, we got to save our democracy. And they're lying about that because it's not a democracy they're trying to save. Communism is not democracy. It's far from it. Communism is oligarchy, people. And then you got Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sitting there with this fight oligarchy crap, which is a lie. They're all for it. They're all for it, 100%. What they're out there telling you is a bunch of garbage. They're as bad. And then they're all for the nation of Islam and these terrorist bastards to come in here and just establish their, I can't even say it because I just, that's another thing that makes me just want to just blow off my top. Because you talk about a cult that is just 100% incompatible with this nation. 100% incompatible. And we're allowing it here? And they're claiming it's in the name of freedom of religion? Really? No, because it's not. We need to stop them and get them out of our country. We're going to lose it, just like England's lost, just like Sweden. Look, all those countries in Europe that are lost because of what they've done there. I mean, they've let it be known what they're going to do, and they are doing it. It's not a secret. It's not like there's some top secret plan and they're just kind of no, it is completely out there in the open. They're telling us what they're doing and they're doing it. And we're just sitting back on our hands and saying, go right ahead. We can't have that here. We can't. It is 100% against our Constitution. 100% people. They want to see us dead. Why do you think they always chant death to America? They're doing that right now in Dearborn, Michigan. They are chanting that. They are in our country chanting that. They are doing that in Texas. And what are we doing about it? Nothing. Not a thing. Our military should be just running right in there and grabbing them. And if they raise arms, taking them out. But they're not. Oh, why? Well, they're free to freedom of speech. They're free to protest. This is not freedom of speech. This is not the right to protest. They are telling you and telling us what they are going to do to us once they have control, and they are working diligently to get control. Little by little, they are doing it. And it won't be long before they have it. We already elected one to the presidency. And look what he did in those 8 years. Actually, 12. Because the last presidency, those last 4 years, do you actually think Joe Biden was in control? If you think so, then you're just as whacked out as he was. Because Barack Hussein Obama was in charge. He was the one pulling the strings. Because when you look at it, most of Barack Hussein Obama's administration was hired by Joe Biden to run things. That was not an accident. It was all by design, people. This is all orchestrated. All of it is orchestrated. And I just don't get why more of us we really need to talk and get this out. And just really, really, I mean, we just have to get it out and talk about it because this, what's the solution? It's easy. President Trump's doing exactly what needs to be done to get things back on track. But he's got so many morons in his way. He's got so many bureaucrats that are permanent in this sham of a government. And he's got so many of these permanent Congress people that think they're smarter than him, and they're going to outlast him, and they will because they keep getting reelected by our dumbasses. When I go vote, you know, I try my damnedest to make sure that I look hard at all the candidates that are running, and I try my darndest, one, to avoid the Democrat because, oh man, he may have some good sounding talking points or whatever, but you know exactly what's going to happen when you vote for him or her. They're going to fall right along party lines, and that is disastrous because they just go and, I mean, what I mean, they fall along party lines, they tighten up and do exactly that. The Democrats, when when they get together, they get together. They stay together. You can't get the Republicans to stay together. Not at all. Nope. They can't solidify for anything. Because you have this group over here, this group over there, and I mean, they're just so splintered, and they think they can do this. You got you got the Freedom Caucus here, you got this caucus, that caucus, blah, 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 blah. And they're all so different. And then they all got to negotiate with one another to get what they want into this and blah, blah, blah. Just be like the Democrats and come together and say, hey, we're all going to vote like this. Just like the Democrats do, we're going to stick together and do this. But they can't do it. And that's why we have the problem we do right now with President Trump saying, we need to do this, get this through, push this through. So that way it stops what the Democrats are doing. It makes it difficult for them to come back when I'm out of office and just change it and go right back to what they were doing. And all they got to do is codify it, put it into law, and they won't do it. So that way, when the Democrats get into office, it's so easy. All they got to do is we're canceling that executive order. It's done. That's done. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. And it goes right back to the way it was, and the country goes right back down into the shithole. That's what happens. That's what happened the last time President Trump left office. Biden got in there, whammo, canceled all those executive orders, and where did we go? Record high inflation. Unemployment went up. All this stuff just collapsed. The Democrats started spending like there was no tomorrow. Our national debt went absolutely insane. And where we stand, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. And who do we got to blame for it? Ourselves. We have to do something about it. That's up to us. Us, the citizens of this nation, to do something. Our voice has to count. We have to get out and vote. We did that this last election, this last presidential election. We put the right man back in office to take charge and do what needs to be done because he is a leader. He's not one of those, oh, well, what do the polls say? And we'll do that. He stands up and leads, and he's appointed people to the cabinet positions, and they are leaders as well. The Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, he's a great leader. Great leader. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, wonderful leader. These are people that stand up and say, this is what we need to do, and this is what needs to get done, and it's going to get done. That's a person that leads. President Trump, you have this is a man, okay, fine. He does say sometimes he says some pretty out there stuff. But that man's brain is going 1,000 miles per hour all the time. All the time. It doesn't shut down. And I understand that because that's how my brain goes. My problem is I don't know how to use it like he does. I don't have the ability to harness it and know how to put it into that right frame and sense to make it work in a good way like he does. If I had that ability, I wouldn't be sitting here in a small town in a very old house going and struggling. going month to month on my bills. Just like most of the people in this nation. It's just a fact. Well, he is a leader. I know this from my experience from being a police officer and being in the military. I know what a leader is. I was a leader. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to be one. The hardest part about being a leader is earning the respect of your subordinates. And if you got that, you're well on your way. And it's, it's not that hard to do. To earn the respect of your subordinates and to be able to get the job done. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to do that, be able to do it. But we need to support him for these next 3 years to be able to get all this stuff done. And we need to get our voices out there to get Congress to get off their lazy butts and get this stuff codified. They have done absolutely nothing since August. Nothing. Have you seen one bill signed by President Trump? Nope. All you've seen President Trump sign are executive orders. All these morons that did all this horrific stuff to President Trump, have you seen any arrests in any of it? No. That's another problem. Oh, our DOJ is so corrupt. We got all these problems. We got to get rid of all these idiots, blah, 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 blah. No arrests have been made. Nothing's been done. A lot of rhetoric, as usual. It's like these congressional investigations. You see all these hearings on TV, congressional hearings, and oh yeah, we're gonna really get these people. Blah blah. Well, you got all this evidence, and we're gonna. Well, what do you do? What happens in these congressional investigations? Nothing. Not a thing. It's all for show. It's a joke. Do you see anybody get put into jail or any kind of punitive action taken? Hell no. Hell no. It's a joke. It's a show. Oh yeah, we did something about it. Yeah, we you didn't do nothing. You did nothing. It's amazing the crap that they talk about, and it's just talk. I mean, this is not just the Democrats. I'm talking about the Republicans right now. I'm not talking about the Democrats. Democrats are all they do is their whole philosophy right now. Like I said, do you hear them talking about any kind of policy to fix anything? No. All you hear them say is, uh, "We hate Trump. He's a fascist. He's a Nazi. Um, he's ending our democracy. His actions are fascist. His this he, that, all they do is bash Trump. What he's doing is harming our democracy. It's the end of the world. Uh, he is this plan. This uh, deporting all these illegal aliens is inhumane. Um, because they're not really illegal. No human is illegal. Blah 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 blah. This is what they say is nuts. Nuts. That's the Democrat side of things. All they do is push for stuff that is criminal. Um, I don't know. I mean, mentally insane. I mean, you look at what they're doing to these ICE officers, throwing rocks at them, at their vehicles, at their windshields, at their windows. One of those rocks goes through and hits one of them in the head and knocks them unconscious, whatever. You're looking at a serious problem. Fortunately, and I do mean fortunately, that has not happened. But I mean, these morons that are doing this stuff and sitting in front of their vehicles and this and that. Come on, people. They are doing, these ICE agents are doing what's right. What is right. And you are standing up for evil. Evil. And you're just, you're standing up for rapists and murderers, robbers, burglars, pedophiles. How in the, how? Can you do that and still claim the moral high ground? How? You can't. You can't. You've lost the moral high ground. When you defend evil, you can't. You've lost it. It's no longer yours. And Democrats, you've definitely lost it. You can no longer claim you have the moral high ground because you do not. You defend everything that is I can honestly say now I know why they say conservatives are the right because we are right. I have never seen such this division that's in our country right now with the way the Democrats are viewing things and the way what they're pushing for. I mean, you look at this moron that's this congresswoman out in Texas, this Jasmine Crockett. Oh my God. And she's supposedly an attorney. I would all I can say is wow. And that's with the question mark behind it. Yeah, because holy cow. Dumb is a kind term to place on her. To listen to her and to what she says, and now she's thinking about running for the Senate in Texas. Um, that's pretty scary. That I shouldn't say pretty scary. That is just downright scary. She is just, I mean, she is a loser with all capital letters. And you know what? She'll get a lot of votes. A lot of votes. Because we as a nation have been dumbed down so bad. I mean, it is the it's amazing that I was born in the wrong generation. There's only a couple. I mean, I can't talk to anybody other than my brother and sister. And have an intelligent conversation with them where they, well, actually, my best friend, um, also, where they know and understand what's going on. To try to talk to somebody else outside in my generation, outside my brother, sister, and my best friend, they're clueless to what's going on, and they have no idea of the rest of the world. They have no idea of where the different places are in the world. Um, they have no idea of what's happened in the past that can affect us now. Um, one very good, um, that I believe it was yesterday. I read a story in the media. I cannot recall which site it was, but it was about a drone strike on Chernobyl, and I mentioned it to my wife, and she says, "What's Chernobyl?" And I went, "Where they had that nuclear reactor meltdown back in the mid '80s." She goes, "What?" I said, "You don't remember that?" "No, I never heard of it." I said, "You don't remember that nuclear meltdown where they had all the evacuate all those people and uh, all that stuff, and then they had to build that big concrete sarcophagus over the top of it, so that way it would diminish the amount of radiation that got out of and all that stuff, and then they had to build another um, encasement to go over it so it stopped the radiation leakage and stuff." And she goes, "No, I have no idea. I've never heard of it." Wow. Okay. And I'm thinking, geez, oh man, that's not good. But I'm not trying to put her down at all. But she's one of those though that just scrolls through her phone all the time. And what do you learn from that? Nothing. You don't learn anything from that. And it's just something that's um I mean, for me personally, and it's just this is just my opinion and something that's it's oh, what do you call it? It's a oh, I forget what the term is for it. My mind has just gone blank on it. But anyway, it's one of those uh, things that just drives me crazy. For me, I don't like. It's a waste of time to me to do that. I would rather spend my time trying to find something to read about, something that's either historical, something that's that keep me or keep more current about things going on. Um, and I try to find it from uh, sources that are not your definitely not your mainstream sources, because they're just your liberal, especially your liberal mainstream, or your mainstream media, because it's all talking points for the liberal uh, democratic crap. That's all they are. You really have to take it all with a grain of salt, because it's just, they're just spewing propaganda. And that's all it is propaganda. When you listen to it, it's what the Democrats say daily. And nothing from the Republican side or the conservative side gets out. Nothing is said about it. I mean, not a word. So if you have to search for the conservative stuff, and there's a few websites out there that put out conservative um, news and stuff like that. So I go out and search for it. Sometimes I take that with a grain of salt as well, because it's the way it's written, kind of a wonder about in question. Um, and it just makes me it's one of those things. It's like, really. So I go, well, I gotta find someplace else to look and see, and to kind of confirm or to make it deny, whatever. So that's just how I am. That's what I do. Um, and that's the way I try to become better informed about stuff, because when I talk about stuff, I and then this is just how I am with all of my everything. I try hard not to be well informed about it. Sometimes I get it wrong. And when I do, I admit it, and I have no problem admitting it. Um, if somebody says, "Hey, no, that's wrong. This is what the true thing is," and if it's verifiable, I'll go, "Oh, whew, wow, sorry, you're absolutely right." Got you know, and I'll admit to it and say, "Yep, I screwed up." Um, you know, I'll take responsibility for it. I'm not afraid of saying I'm wrong. I'm not afraid of taking accountability and responsibility. That's what you're supposed to do. Um, so that's just the way it's supposed to be. Today, nobody will do that. I will. So, knowing that, and with all that, I am so sorry. My laryngitis. I got chronic laryngitis, and it's bear to live with. Um. Anyway, with that, it's time to call it an episode. And I really do appreciate everybody checking it out, listening, watching, and please tell somebody about what you experience if you enjoyed the episodes and watching, listening. I appreciate it. I really do. You have no idea how much I do. People checking in and watching. With that, be vigilant with where you're at. It is bad out there. People are watching you. If you have your nose in your phone, you are a target. Know your surroundings. Know what's going on around you. Watch and be careful. Watch out for others too. Make sure that if you see something weird going on, and look out for other people as well. And if something happens to somebody, please go and assist them if they need help. With that, please just take care of yourselves, because nobody's going to. I mean, it's just a bad world we live in right now, and it's just what I observe. And I try to stay vigilant in where I go and what I do. And I think because I am very observant, I've been lucky in not being a victim. And so just a word of warning, and I hope you don't either. So, with that, God bless you. You've been watching and listening to Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. I am Bob Benham, and I do thank you so much for listening. God bless the United States of America. We are the last safe haven in the world. And now you can take that to the bank. Take care, and bye-bye.